This is Frankly Speaking with Muyiwaafolabi.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing today? Welcome to 2020. Welcome to a brand new decade. This is Frankly Speaking with Muyiwaafolabi. And it's a pleasure to have you here with me on this platform. Today, I want to share something with you on power. Power. And this one I have titled Power for the Decade. It's a brand new decade, 2020 to 2029. It's a brand new decade. So this one I've titled Power for the Decade. Power for the Decade. The arrival of the year 2020 was met and greeted with a different kind of excitement in my observation. Different from previous recent years, I saw and sensed many people than usual paying attention to themselves and how they can improve their lives and well-being. New rules, new plans, new ideas and agenda. I think the year 2020 for many marked a different kind of beginning, and I assume it's because it's not just the turn of a new year, but also the beginning of a brand new decade. Many people, as usual, will have goals set and plans in place to change and drastically improve their lives. But let's face it, do you have the capacity to do all you want to do in the new year and decade? Do you have the capacity? Many do have the desire to do things, but unfortunately, they lack the capacity to do what they desire to do. So having a will is not enough. No. Having the desire is also not enough. Having the ability and capacity is what makes your ambition and goals realistic. So I was sharing with members of my coaching academy last Sunday that potential is a reality, but it's not the same as capacity. Many speakers speak to people's potentials in order to motivate them. But after a while, these people then realize, though they have greatness in them, the greatness is not coming forth or manifesting. Why? It takes more than having it within to make things happen for you. You must develop all you have in you for it to show forth and tell on your physical life and your physical realities. A 6-month-old baby, for example, cannot read, but the capacity to read is in him. So it will be absurd for the 6-month-old child to set a goal to start reading in the new year simply because he has the potential in him. It takes more than the potential for him to manifest that ability. There's a process and a time frame of development for him to truly manifest the art of reading. Dear friend, are your New Year goals based on feelings of potentials or the reality of capacity? Can you do all you want to do within the new year? Are you setting goals based on thrill, excitement, and sentiments, or based on your capacity reality? Are your business goals, your career goals, your academic goals, your financial goals, your marital goals, your leadership goals, and self-improvement goals based on desire, potential, and sentiment, or based on ability, capacity, and reality? Goals are hardly realized when set on sentiments instead of reality. I do not think a 6-month-old baby can read within a month simply because he desires it. Yes, he has the potentials, but his brain must develop enough and he must be taught how before he can read. His wishes and passion are not enough. No, training and acquiring capacity to do is critical to any goal. So your goals for 2020, do you have the capacity for them or just a desire and you hope to support this desire without capacity with enough praying and fasting? God cannot be mocked. My dear friend, thank God for 2020, but all your new rules and regulations, plans and to-dos will mean nothing if you do not have in you the capacity to make these things happen. What is capacity? Capacity is simply the power to do something. The power to do something. Power is capacity. Capacity is power. Do you have the power? No matter the power packed into a 2.0-liter engine vehicle, it can never outrun a 6.5-liter SUV. because of passion and determination. It simply lacks the capacity. It does not have the power. Are you a Kia Picanto with your 2020 dreams of a Mercedes 550 SUV? Sorry, you lack the power. I'm sure the religious ones may begin to think about miracles and what God can do. Of course, God can perform wonders, but He does it when it's necessary, not to help the unrealistic or for entertainment. God set the plans and agenda for process, not the devil. Miracles is different from magic. My dear friend, what are your 2020 goals? Do you have the power to deliver them? Your business, your career, your finances, your relationships, your marriage, your personal development. Do you have the power to achieve set goals for these? If you do not have the power, why don't you have the power? If you lack the power, how can you obtain the needed power? Power is simply the ability or capacity to do something or act in a particular way. If in your life you cannot do what you want to do and cannot act the way you want to act, you don't have power. Achieving set goals depend mostly on the power to do what is needed and be what is needed. If you lack the freedom to do the needful and be the stuff you need to be, you are not so powerful. In this life, two major factors rob us of the power we need to do and to be what we want to be. Number one, our needs. Number two, what we fear to lose. Number one is our needs, and the number two is what we fear to lose. Abraham Maslow, a great psychologist in the 40s, came up with the concept of the hierarchy of needs of every human. And the fundamental basic needs of every human is the physiological needs. This needs comprises the need for food, for drink, for shelter, for health, for clothing, and sleep. My dear friend, no matter how ambitious you are, no matter how great your goals are, the person supplying these physiological needs, the person granting you access to these needs, has the power over you. It is what he wants that will most likely happen to you in 2020, no matter your personal dreams. The person paying for your physiological needs, your caregiver, your employer, to a large extent will control what happens to you and your dreams in 2020. To set realistic goals, your dreams and goals must be within his dreams and goals before they can be realistic. Until you're directly in charge of obtaining your own food, your own drink, your own shelter, your own clothing, and your health by yourself, the person who pays for these has the power. He can control you, he can confine you, he can limit you, he can derail you, and even frustrate your personal goals and plans for the new year and even the new decade. This reminds me of a senior friend who recently turned 65 and was crying on his birthday. He looked back over the years and had regrets. Blessed with a good job at a multinational and blessed also with 3 lovely kids. Just when his first child turned 8, he was transferred from Lagos to Niger State as a salesperson. He assumed it would be short-lived and will in a few months return to Lagos, but sadly, it wasn't so. And from Niger to Sokoto to Benue to Port Harcourt to Benin, the transfer continued, and it was after 15 years he was transferred back to Lagos. Of course, his 3 kids were grown and out of the house. They were almost all out of the university. In 15 years, he saw them only occasionally. He never had a sweet experience of raising his own children. The kids were deprived, his wife was denied, and he was the biggest loser at the end, as his family couldn't relate with him well when he returned. The wife and kids had grown apart and independent from him and were so used to his absence, they couldn't flow with him so much no more. He had lost his family. He had become a stranger in his own home. Why? The employer, paying for his physiological needs, determined his yearly goals and plans. He lacked the power to make decisions, determine his income, take charge of his family, and set goals outside the ambition of the employer. He lacked power and capacity. Dear friend, we're starting a new decade. Where is your power? Where is your capacity? What great dreams do you have? How tall is your ambition? How has your mind been conditioned? To be in paid employment all your life, or to one day, as soon as possible, be in charge of your own business and affairs? Look, whenever you leave paid employment, you will still have to own your own. So why not do it when you still have the energy, the time, and the connections? There are some cars you can never own, some houses you can never build, some travels you can never enjoy, and a living standard that would only be a dream. All these things would just be a dream if an employer is paying your bills. There's a way you can't even worship your maker if you're not in charge of your time, your money, and your plans. There are some humanitarian activities you can only talk about and not participate in if you're not in charge of your own life and your time. Paid employment is good and necessary. It's a learning school for how to run your own business successfully eventually. It should not be a place to spend the most active parts of your years and days. As we begin another 10 good years, what are your plans for freedom? How old will you be by 2030? You're so smart and ingenious. There's nothing you cannot learn. Even how to run a business successfully. Yes, you can learn it. No one is born with the art. We all learned it, and you can learn it as well. Your biggest blessing, I tell you, are always on the other side of your greatest fears. If you fear self-employment, is exactly where your breakthrough is hidden in life. As you begin this new decade, take charge, secure your power, learn all you need to learn, and promise yourself that by 2030, you'll be on Forbes' list as one of the billionaires of the new decade. Listen, Dangote or Tedola Adinuga were not born billionaires. They became one over time, and it was in a particular decade they became billionaires. Can you make this new decade your own season? I assure you, you can. It is in you. And guess what? Time is just running out. Start the business now. Build it up and make history. God has put it on the inside of you. It is time for you to manifest it. Yes, you can. Take control and smash your goals. Now, I've learned over time that a major key to learning and applying what you've learned is beyond the desire to apply. It's actually by grace. That's perhaps why you know so much about the secrets of success, but can't do things you know because the grace is perhaps not available. You most times need to activate the grace for application. You need God to work in you to will and to do the things that you know about success. How do you do it? By proving to God you can be a source of blessing to many others if He blesses you with success. How do you prove it? By demonstrating it. The youth in Nigeria today are mostly deprived, distressed, and disillusioned. They lack so many things it takes to be relevant in this new decade. So I've decided to offer free training, seminars, and workshops and empowerment programs for these young people all over Nigeria this year 2020. All I ask of you is to please sponsor a youth with just $1 a month. That's just 365 naira a month. If what you've read or heard today has blessed and added value to you, 365 naira a month shouldn't be too much to invest in the life of some youth in Nigeria and you being a blessing to them as well if you truly care. Simply visit the website. It's www.atnpower.org altogether. www.atnpower.org and make your donation through our online payment portal. Just sponsor a youth. If you have kids, if you have younger siblings or any youth you care about, you are doing this for them indirectly. Don't let the Asians, as the Chinese, the Koreans, the Europeans, and Americans take over our land, our resources, and our future because our own youths lack what it takes to lead in this new dispensation. Let's help them retain our economic sovereignty. Please visit the website and sponsor a youth today. And let God supply you with grace to apply what you've learned today and achieve your goals for this new year and the new decade. The website again is www.atnpower.org. Just visit and be a blessing to others as I have been a blessing to you through this program. My name is Muyiwaafolabi. Thank you for your time and attention. Please enjoy your day. God bless you.
For questions and counseling, please call 0706 349 6599. To connect with Muyiwa Afolabi on social media, you can visit the website at www.muyiwaafolabi.com. Frankly Speaking with Muyiwa Afolabi a production of Frontiers International Services Limited.